Hello. So I have just driven to Cronulla because Cronulla is actually quite close to where I live, and I'm going to try, because Cronulla has a Blackwood cafe. Blackwood cafe are doing the viral like strawberry matchas that everybody's been trying, so I'm going to try it, which I'm kind of excited about because like I like matcha. I'm not like a die-hard matcha fan. I am a coffee person over matcha, but strawberry matcha sounds pretty exciting, and I haven't eaten anything yet. It's 10:23 and I just thought that, you know, I haven't done any videos for such a long time, so I thought I could try the strawberry matcha, get coffee, maybe like something small to eat, and I could just debrief on my life, what's been happening, plans for the next few months, just, you know, a little life update. I got like a nice park in the shade, so it's still kind of far away from the cafe though. This is my dilemma at the moment. It's very hard to find a park in Sydney. Like, it's a Monday and it's still kind of busy here, but the cafe is still like a 10-minute walk, 700 meters, which, you know, I wouldn't usually be even fazed about, but it's like Sydney weather at the moment, really hard to gauge because it's kind of cold in the morning. In the sun though, it's actually quite hot. It's 22 degrees right now. So like if it was windy, it would be cold, but I don't think it is. And I'm wearing like a long sleeve. I did bring a spare top in case it gets hot that I could change into. So I'm just like thinking if I should change into that now. And then, because otherwise I think that I'm going to be like too hot. I don't know. Oh my god. I also have a really bad cough at the moment, and I don't know what's going on. I've been having so many health issues. I'll update you all like once I go and get the drinks. Now I can't talk properly. Anyway, I'm gonna go get these drinks and then I'll come back and I'll update you on everything. We can have like a little catch up. Sounds good. Okay, we're back in the car. Just trying to fix my hair. And I just got 2 drinks. I got the strawberry matcha here, and then I also got just an iced latte, because I know that I love iced lattes. So, and since it was so hot, I was gonna get a cappuccino, which is my usual order, like a hot coffee, but I decided to go for something cold. All right, let's taste test this. So at the bottom, there's like strawberry, and then the rest is matcha, and you're meant to like stir it in. There's like strawberry chunks flying everywhere. I just want to get it like really mixed in before I try it. All right. And then they put like little flower petals on the top. But anyway. Okay, yeah. You can definitely taste the strawberry. I actually like that. At my first taste, I was like, ew, what is this? I'm just gonna scrape it all in on the sides. You get some strawberry chunks in it. I think I prefer this than just plain matcha. Because I bought it and I was like, so many milky drinks, I'm probably gonna feel sick. But I was like, there's no way I'm gonna drink both of these. There's still probably no way. But you know, the dome lids. Ew. I didn't even know that people hated dome lids until one time my friend was like, ew, domed lids. I was like, oh, is that like an ick these days? Apparently it is. It's like a big ick in Australia. I don't know if it's everywhere. Alright, let's get into the updates on everything. Oh, where do I even begin? It's been a long time since I filmed anything. So basically, I'll start with what happened on Saturday in Sydney. So I don't know, you've probably heard, because I'm pretty sure it's like worldwide news at the moment, but on Saturday at Bondi Junction in the Westfield Shopping Centre, there was an incredibly serious incident that happened where a man went into the shopping centre with a knife and he started stabbing people. And you know, it's, sorry, you're gonna have to excuse my voice because I've been dying for a while now. So what's so surreal about it is, like, I hear stuff that happens like that all the time on the news, and you know, you hear it about like happening in other countries, but it's never happened so close to home. I don't think that we've had an incident like this in a really long time, and what's so scary about it is it could have been anyone. Like, I go to that shopping centre all the time. You know what's so crazy? I went to a Westfields the day before, and in my head I was like, because the Bondi Junction Westfield, they have Glassons and they have Brandy Melville. Brandy Melville, I'm not too sure if there's any other Brandy Melville in Sydney. So, and I love that shop. Like, this is from there. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that I have from there, and me and my best friend Anna, we go there like quite often. And I needed new running shoes. I'm either going to go to Bondi Junction because there's Brandy Melville there and I like to have a little look around, and Glassons always has new stuff in. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll go to Bondi Junction. But I ended up just being like, you know what, I don't need to spend money. I'm just going to go there and get what I need, which is my Asics. And I just went to the Westfield closer to me, which is the one in Miranda. I just went there. But it's just so crazy that so many people that were put in that situation would have had the exact same thought, like, I'm out of bread, I'm just gonna go to the shops, to Coles, and get some bread. Or, oh, my kids are restless today, I'm just gonna take them to the shops. Or, oh, I really want that top that I've been thinking about, I'm just gonna go there and grab it. Because you never think something like that is gonna happen. Like, yeah, it's just... And I was so worried because I was actually working when it happened, because I work most Saturdays. And my friend texted me and they're like, oh my God, something like is terribly wrong at Bondi Junction Shopping Centre. And I instantly started freaking out because my best friend is she lives in Bondi, and she also does like babysitting and stuff, and she's always there. Like, her gym is in the shopping centre and she's always at the gym. So I started freaking out. I was like messaging her and she was having a nap, so I didn't hear back from her. So then I was like freaking out. But it's just so sad because of the victims, I'm pretty sure 6 of them have died now, and then there's still more in like critical condition. But of the 6 victims is a 9-month-old baby. He stabbed a 9-month-old baby and the baby's mum, and the mum passed away. And when you hear about, oh my God, a mother and baby have been stabbed, you're like, oh, that's so tragic. But then the next day they released the photos of them, and it just makes it all so real to you. Like, you see her smiling, holding her baby, and then you just know that she's just gone now. She's never going to watch her baby grow up, and the baby might not survive. And then you just think about her family and you're like, wow. imagine if I went to the shopping center just because I said I needed new running shoes, and then that happened, and then my fiance never sees me again, because that's what happened. Another young girl that was only 25, she got stabbed and she died. Apparently she had only just bought her wedding dress like a week before, and she is engaged. Imagine, like, far out. That's just so sad. And you know, like I said again, this stuff kind of happens all the time, but hitting so close to home, you're like, that's when it becomes scary, because things like this don't usually happen in Australia. And then it makes me think, well, why aren't we allowed like pepper spray, you know? And then the security guards in the shopping center, one of the security guards also died, and people online are like, well, why aren't the security guards doing it? Like, why didn't the security guards do anything? Because they're basically useless. Not them, they're not useless, but they're not allowed weapons. Like, they're not allowed pepper spray, they're not allowed tasers, they're not allowed a gun. I understand the gun, but like, at least give them a fucking taser and pepper spray, or one of those batons. Like, what is the point of having a security guard if they can't do anything? I just don't understand why we're not allowed pepper spray. If somebody in the shopping center had pepper spray, they would probably be able to, like, again, I'm like, obviously you're talking from an outside perspective. You don't even know what you would do in that situation. But it's just like, if people actually had the power to incapacitate him, maybe he wouldn't have gone on, like, maybe he wouldn't have hurt so many people. Luckily, a female police officer, when she got there, she shot him, and he also is dead now. But, you know, it's just, you just never know. You just never know. It's, yeah, it's incredibly sad. And then obviously I feel incredibly sad for all of the people that have gone through something like this, and the fact that other countries go through these kinds of incidents way more often. And I couldn't even imagine being in a country where this happens often. Like, how do you feel safe going anywhere? Especially like in America, like the school shootings and stuff. It's just, it's a sad world that we live in at the moment, honestly. It's really just heartbreaking. So, yes, I hope everybody stays safe. But I really like this. Obviously, it's really hard talking about a topic like this, because I don't want to seem insensitive by bringing up something so awful and then just being like, oh, by the way, like, this is happening in my life. But I just wanted to acknowledge that that happened just the other day here in Sydney, where I live, and that I'm okay, all my friends are okay. Now, onto me now. Well, I haven't filmed anything for like a really long time. Okay, so also I'm telling this story because I would also appreciate any help. Like, if anybody has ever been through the same thing, please let me know, because I have been suffering and I have no answers. So basically, what happened was, I started out, I think I was complaining in my last few videos that I did that I was like suffering from like extreme tiredness. But, okay, let's go all the way back. So, a year ago, I was in hospital because I had cramps, but not like period cramps, like they were in my upper stomach. And I had them for a few days, and they weren't actually that bad. They were bearable, but I was like, this is odd. I haven't had a pain like this before. It's not like, I know it's not period related or like woman related, because it's not in my lower stomach, and I was like, this just feels strange. But I kind of ignored it because I was like, it's not bad enough for me to be like, oh, something's wrong. Anywho, fast forward like 4 days after the cramps, like one afternoon, the cramps started getting like so bad. I was laying on the floor in fetal position in the bathroom, And my partner came in and he was like, we should probably go to hospital. Don't like going to the hospital. I know why I don't like going to the hospital, because you go there, you wait for like hours and you often don't get any answers. So I was like, no, I really don't want to go to the hospital. And he was like, okay. And then he came back, like, yeah, I would say that I was lying on the floor in agony for probably another half an hour. And then he came back and he was like, we really should go to the hospital. And at this point I was like, yeah, we actually should go to the hospital, because I had started to feel nauseous. Anyway, we get to the emergency room, and as soon as I sit down in the emergency room, I was like to my partner, I was like, I need a vomit bag. He ran and got me a vomit bag, and I just started vomiting. I was in agony. I couldn't sit, like I was lying down. I was, yeah, I couldn't stop the pain. So I was like groaning, and it was really like, you kind of lose all shame at that point, because the waiting room was like kind of full, and you know, I'm just like vomiting and like hurling and like groaning and lying on the floor in the hospital waiting room. And I'm not kidding, like I could have been dying from like appendicitis or something, because that's what I thought I had. I was like, I've got appendicitis, like my appendix is burst. They made me wait in the waiting room for a good like hour and a half at least before I even got called up to tell my symptoms. And then like you tell the doctor your symptoms, and then they send you back out to the waiting room, and then you got to wait until you get called by a nurse, and then the nurse does another observation, and then you've got to wait again until you get called by like a doctor. Anyways, I waited for a really long time before I was even able to see a doctor. Anyways, I finally seen a doctor. He wasn't actually a doctor either. He was an intern, which obviously I don't really care, because he was really, really good. But he took my blood, and then I basically had to wait again, because, and mind you, this whole time I'm vomiting every five minutes. I'm like I'm dying. I'm in so much pain. I can't move. I'm vomiting constantly. And then finally, and then I was getting really cold as well, and I was really pale. And then finally, since they keep hearing me vomit, they're like, oh, like, has anybody given her any pain medication? And Basti's like, no. And then they're like, what about anything to like stop the vomiting? And he's like, no. And I was like, pain medication, yes, please give it to me. So they ended up giving me, like, they had to give me the stuff to stop the vomiting first. I think they gave it through the drip, because I had a drip in at this point, and I was like lying on the floor. They didn't have any beds available either, so I was lying on the floor in the waiting room with the drip in, and they gave me a blanket, which was nice. But like, anyways, and then they finally gave me pain medication, and that is when like it started to help. The vomiting stopped, like the pain medication helped with my stomach, like I stopped getting the horrid stomach pain. But they were like, after a while they came back to me and they said, look, we found, now don't quote me on this because I could be wrong, from memory, I'm pretty sure they said they found high white cell, like white blood cell count. I'm pretty sure that that means like high inflammation. Anyways, whatever the one is, whether it's like very high inflammation, they found high inflammation in my blood. So that's when they were like, we want to keep you here overnight. So I ended up having a CT scan done, and they couldn't really find anything. I ended up getting sent home that morning because they had done all of these tests, couldn't find anything, and yeah, no answers. So I basically went home with no answers and all the symptoms, like everything was gone. I was better, basically. So I kind of put it down to, I went to my GP and I said, hey, I didn't get any answers from this. I got the results sent to her and I was like, can you give me any, like, can we do some more tests just to make sure that it's nothing serious? Because I wasn't convinced that I was okay. And we didn't find anything. So basically, time goes on, and then I went through this period where I was like, not tired. Like, I say tired, but you don't understand. I was so tired that when I was driving, I was worried that I was going, not fall asleep, but I couldn't focus. Like, I'm so exhausted, and I wasn't even doing anything. Like, I'm not doing anything to be that exhausted. But I was so tired, like, debilitating. I couldn't even, like, when I hung out with my friends, I just wasn't there. I couldn't follow conversations, and I feel really bad because, like, one of my best friends, Anna, she's a huge talker, loves talking, and, like, we just talk the whole time, and I couldn't even follow conversations. And yeah, it was just really, really difficult, because then I started feeling like I started getting really upset about my situation. So I was, like, down in the dumps for a while. And that's when I started, because, like, no one was giving me answers. Blood tests were coming back fine. Everything was coming back fine. And I'm like, I'm not fine. Something's wrong. So then I started doing, like, my own research. And I seen that, like, sometimes if people have a gluten intolerance, I could, like, a lot of the same symptoms I had. So then I decided I'm just going to do a few tests by myself. So I cut out gluten. And then all of a sudden I started feeling better, which is really, really weird because I'm not gluten intolerant. I got a celiac test and everything recently, and I'm not gluten intolerant. But when I cut out gluten, that's when I started feeling better. And here's the thing though. So I thought I had a gluten intolerance, but then guess what? Just a few months ago, after probably 2 weeks after I was starting to feel better, I started getting light cramps again in my upper stomach. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh no, this feels so similar to what happened to me last time. Sure enough, give it like, I think it was like a week or so, I had another episode that night where I was like, holy fuck, I'm having one of those attacks again. Anyways, that lasted for a night, and I was taking ibuprofen for the pain, and my doctor, like my normal GP, just wasn't helping. She's great, but like with a GP, if you go to a GP in Australia, basically you can't just go to a specialist. You need to go to a GP, you need to tell them what you've got, then they'll refer you to whoever they think that you need to go to, or they'll be like, let's run a bunch of tests, let's refer you here, 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 and we'll do these tests. It's exhausting. It really is. It's exhausting, and it costs a lot of money because you've got to go to your GP, you've got to pay your GP, which is like $180 or whatever, and then you've got to go to a specialist and you've got to pay them, and then you get Medicare rebates. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's very, very frustrating. I was like, all right, I need to go to a freaking specialist because this is not helping. Because I went to the GP and she's like, oh, let's do more blood tests. Let's do a colonoscopy. Then we'll do this. Then we'll do this. And I'm like, no, I need somebody that is like, I tell them my symptoms and they're like, it sounds like you have this. Let's test for this. So I finally get in with a specialist. Very expensive, but whatever. I don't care at this point. I tell him all my symptoms. And we came to the conclusion that he thought that I had stomach ulcers because I have also got migraines. I suffer from migraines, and for a long period of time I have overused ibuprofen. I didn't know that you're not meant to overuse ibuprofen, and I have used it constantly for years. So if you are constantly using ibuprofen as a pain medication, probably don't do that because it actually can be very bad for your gut, and you can end up getting stomach ulcers. And I was like, yes, it could be stomach ulcers. I feel like it's stomach ulcers because I am in so much pain. So basically, I was bedridden at this point. I couldn't eat anything, like anything that was slightly acidic. Like I had an acai, stupid of me, I know, because they're very acidic, but I had an acai bowl with my friend, and when I got home, I was in agony and I started vomiting. So mind you, I'm in pain and I'm also vomiting, and it's been about a month at this point. So I've been suffering for a month with this kind of pain and vomiting. I decided one night I wasn't going to eat because I didn't want to vomit. I woke up at like 3 a.m. and vomited anyways. I just vomited up stomach acid. So I don't know what is going on at this point. I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, so he is like, all right, we're going to do an endoscopy on you. Come into the hospital. So I went into the hospital. This was my first time as well being put under anesthesia. I've never gone under anesthesia for anything. I have barely even had any needles my whole life or anything. So I was a little bit nervous, but I was like, whatever. Went out, they did the endoscopy. I was like, I'm going to wake up and they're going to tell me I'm riddled with stomach ulcers. Like I've got 16 of them. I wake up and I'm waiting in the waiting room. I'm completely out of it as well because the anesthesia is still like coming off. He basically comes up to me and he's like, we didn't find anything. They took biopsies for H. pylori and they also took biopsies for celiac disease to test me for both of those. And nothing came back, which was so strange. So I come out of the endoscopy basically again, back to square one, no answers whatsoever. I don't have stomach ulcers. I don't have celiac disease. I don't have an overgrowth of that bacteria. I'm pretty sure it's called H. pylori. I don't have a gluten intolerance. I don't have, like, yeah, I don't have anything basically. And then all of a sudden, it just went away. So I haven't had, like, it just, bam, I was fine again. I could eat whatever I wanted, no cramps. I wasn't vomiting, nothing. Bam, better. So then I had a follow-up appointment with him last week. And I basically said to him, all my symptoms are gone now. Like, what could this be? What is this? Like, and he said to me now that we can't test for anything if I don't have any symptoms because it might not be showing up in the tests. But I'm like, I think that this is all linked. The year ago when I was in hospital, the tiredness, the tiredness leading up to the cramps, and then the cramps, and then the long period of like that attack where I was like bedridden and couldn't freaking walk. I had to switch out my battery. Yeah, but anyways, so basically now my symptoms are gone. I still have zero answers. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I'm terrified of it coming back again. Another thing, after the endoscopy, I developed this cough. This debilitating cough that I cannot get rid of. It has been over a month since I've had the endoscopy. And if I get started, I almost vomit from the coughing. I can't stop. So I try and not get started with the coughing because otherwise I can't stop, and it gets to the point where I've almost vomited twice. Probably 3, probably 4. You know what? I've almost vomited like a bunch of times, and when it was like really bad, it's slowly, snail pace, getting better. But when it was really bad, I would be asleep, dead asleep in deep, probably my REM cycle, and next minute I'm fucking choking. I wake up in the middle of the night, gasping for air and coughing and like gasping, like I'm like choking, like I can barely breathe. And then I start like almost vomiting, so I gotta run to the bathroom because the coughs won't stop to the point where I'm gagged. Anyway, moving on. Just going through what I was gonna bring up today. Yes, exciting stuff that's happening in my life. We're going to Europe. Me and my best friends in Sydney are all going to Europe this year. Whoa. I honestly am so excited. It's really all I've been thinking about for months. Since we booked it really, which was like it wasn't a year ago. How long? Probably like 6 months ago. But I'm so excited. So basically, we're going to starting off in Paris, then we're going to Italy. We're going to the Amalfi Coast, which is very exciting. You know, I find that like it's going to be so busy there. Everyone wants to go to the Amalfi Coast. I know, such a touristy thing, but I just want to see it. I want to go to the Amalfi Coast. We did want to go to Lake Como and Venice as well, but we're only going for 3 weeks, and we kind of worked it out that I think it would be nicer to spend more days in one place than only like 1 day in each place, because I think that we would easily get burnt out that way if we're constantly having to travel. Plus the distance, like we would have to travel from from Amalfi to Lake Como, then Como to Venice, and our travel days would be so long then, so we just thought that it would be better to just spend 3 days in each place, and then we can have like a really nice time. So Amalfi, and then we're going to Croatia, which I'm so excited about. I haven't been to Croatia before. I have been to Italy before, but like more of like the historical places, not really the coast or anything. And then after Croatia, we're going to the Greek islands. We're seeing obviously Santorini and Mykonos, because I feel like if it was my second time seeing the Greek islands, I would definitely do the smaller Greek islands or like the less touristy places. But since I haven't been to Greece before and neither have any of my friends, I also feel like we kind of have to see it, like Mykonos and Santorini, for the first time. So yes, and then we're going to Milos as well. I'm so excited. I'll be doing lots of like Europe content. I'm gonna vlog the whole thing. I also have so many cute like outfit ideas. So I'm like, oh, what should I, yeah. Anyways, I have a lot of content ideas for my Europe trip. We are leaving in early July. So we're gonna be there July for 3 weeks. And then my 2 Aussie friends, Andrea and Amy, they'll be coming back to Australia after the 3 weeks. But then me and my little German friends, Anna, we'll be going, I'm going to her hometown in Germany, and I'm gonna be able to see that. It's so funny because like I have so many German people in my life. I always say, you know, I've got a thing for Germans and blondes because all my friends are blonde. I only have, no, my only brunette bestie is now blonde because she dyed her hair blonde. And my original blonde bestie has dyed her hair brown. So maybe she's my brunette bestie now. But yeah, I'll get to see her hometown, which is so exciting. And then after that, I'm going to my fiance's place in Germany. They live near Munich, so then I'll be going there, and then we'll spend some time with them because we try and see them at least once a year because they came to Australia for Christmas for the first time, and then we've basically gone there for Christmas most years, but now we're going there in the summer, which will be a long time. I haven't been to Germany in the summertime for years. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. I'm also going to be going home to Queensland next month, which is also really exciting because I haven't been home for a while. And you know what's crazy about home is I'm at that age now, right, where all of your childhood pets are so fucking old. They're like my little childhood cat, Fluffo. I'll insert a photo of me and her when we were like both babies. Also, yes, I know I was not the prettiest little kid. Alright, I got braces, fixed the teeth. Puberty did wonders for me. But yes, this is me and little Fluffo when we were both little. She's still alive. This is her now. She's like blind in one eye. She's like deaf. She still has a good quality of life, right? She's not sick. She's not like, she's still like eats. She's happy. So obviously we're not going to put her down if she's still fine. She can see out of one eye, so she's fine. But she's definitely really old now. I'm pretty sure she's either like 18 or 19. But I just feel like this is like the saddest part of this age is you're kind of like your life as you're a young adult is like kind of ending and a new era is starting, because, you know, your childhood pets all pass. Your parents might move out of your childhood home and get something smaller because you've moved out. You're not there anymore. And it's kind of like, yeah, like the end of an era. It's really, really sad, because we had two, my little Fluffo, she had a sister and she passed away last year, late last year. And I know that Fluff doesn't have very many years left, so every time I go home, I'm just grateful that I get to spend more time with her, because every time I leave, I don't know if it's going to be the last time I see her. I don't want to start crying. I love her. She got me through my whole life up until I left. Yeah, I love her. She's just the best. She's such a little sweetheart. Anyway, since I'm actually at a beach, like the beach, I thought before I end off this video, I could go to this beach that's here and show you how freaking pretty it is. Like, it's insane how nice it is. Like, I can't believe how pretty it is. Honestly, if you come to Australia and you come to Sydney, message me and I will let you know all of the good places to go. All of like the places that not many people know about either, because this is probably one of the places that not many people know about. I feel like everybody that comes to Sydney is like, oh, let's go to Bondi or like Bronte. But there's some really, really nice beaches around that are a little bit more secluded. I also know a lot of good cafes and stuff. So if anybody, like if any of you watching come to Australia, I also know really good islands in Queensland and stuff. So if any of you come to Australia, let me know and I'll give you some good places to go. Let's drive there and I'll just like take some footage of how nice it is. Now, prepare to be absolutely amazed. It's so freaking pretty. Like, just imagine having that house. How crazy. Look at the view. So yeah, if you guys watched this video up until this point, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking with me. Really means a lot. Somebody commented on one of my old videos saying, where was I? They missed me. And you don't actually realize how much that means to me, because since I hadn't filmed for weeks, I was like, oh, no one's probably, like no one even probably really cares. So I just thought that nobody probably really cares, but then when I get a comment like that, I'm like, oh, people do actually care. So this is for all of like my little subscribers. If you guys have any video ideas for me, please let me know, because I'm in a creative slump at the moment. I'm not actually that great at makeup. I know that I do some makeup videos, but I don't feel like I'm like that good. So, and I'm not like, I keep on doing the same things. I mean, I could do like a going out look, because I'm going out this weekend to like a nice dinner. So I could do like a get ready with me, because I have a really cute outfit in mind for it. But yeah, if you guys like want to follow, I want to start posting more on TikTok as well. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's just Shanae Ann. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, then it's _ Shanae Butler. Butler's actually my last name, but I put Shanae Ann as my name because I don't really want anyone from high school to be able to find me. If you do want to follow me on Instagram, feel free to. I would appreciate that, because Instagram's so hard to grow. So is TikTok though, for me anyways. I'm in that slump where you get like 200 views for things. But anyways, I liked the matcha, the strawberry matcha. So if you have been wanting to try it, definitely try it. It tastes like matcha, just you can definitely tell like there's strawberry in there. And I think that it makes it taste better. I like the strawberry matcha better than like a normal matcha. Thank you for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed video ideas, and let me know if anybody has struggled with the same health issues so that I can like gauge what it could be. But yes, I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.